Welcome to this episode of the RN2writer Show. I'm your host, Elizabeth Haynes. I'm a nurse and a former six-figure freelance writer, and today I get jazzed by helping other nurses, and actually all healthcare professionals, become freelance writers too. I think you're going to find today's topic interesting, by the way, because it's about how health writing actually works. And that might be different from what you think. Before I dive in, don't forget to subscribe to us here on YouTube or follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Expand the description box or the show notes to get links to any resources I mention in this episode. Okay, let's talk about what health writing is. And it may not be what you think it is. One of the big questions we get from nurses is they say, does this mean I can write about my experiences as a nurse? Because boy, do I have stories to tell. Don't we all? But this is actually not the case at all. Professional health writing doesn't involve sharing personal or professional experiences. Those really don't play a role at all in what we do as health writers. Health writing is about creating custom content on a per-piece basis as commissioned by a client. And that's the beauty of it. Because all this content is customized to the client's specifications, you receive detailed instructions about what to write and exactly how to write it. That's why you can get started as a health writer with no health writing experience at all. So now that you understand a little bit about how this works, I want to go through the 10 steps of the health writing process so that you can see truly how easy this is to do. So regardless of the type of health writing you want to do, whether it's health reporting as a journalist or something like writing case studies for a business, what we call content marketing, the process is pretty much the same and it follows these 10 general steps. Let's get to it. Step 1 is you identify a prospective client. This is easy. Clients are all around you. Any company that publishes any kind of health content of any kind is a potential client for you. Step 2, you reach out to the prospective client. Either you send them an email offering your writing services, or you send what we call a query letter, which proposes a specific article you'd like to write for their publication. In case you're wondering, this is standard procedure in this industry. Contacting prospective clients is not considered at all spammy or unwelcome. Clients expect to hear from prospective writers, and because you're a nurse or another health professional, they often will jump for joy when your email arrives in their inbox. In particular, magazines and other journalistic outlets often post calls for pitches. These are invitations for writers to contact them because the publishing industry doesn't work without freelance writers like us. And again, because you're a nurse or a health professional, they will love to get your pitch. Step 3, the editor or client will respond to your email or your query with a request for more information. At this stage, you and the prospective client hop on a call, a Zoom, or an email exchange to nail down all the details of the assignment. We call this the scope of work, and nailing down the scope of work is what makes this career accessible to you, even if you have never done it before, because when you hash out the scope of work, you're getting the instructions on what to do. So, you and the prospective client will mutually agree to such things as the type of deliverable they want. Is it an article, a blog post? What is it? The word count, the deadline for the first draft, whether or not you need to interview any subject matter experts for this, what the client considers quote-unquote acceptable sources in terms of background research. So think sites like Medline Plus, the CDC, Merck Manuals, PubMed, places like that. They'll tell you whether they're providing you with a template to use for the writing. That happened to me frequently. They would send me a Word document that had everything on it, and I just filled the information into the blanks. You'll talk about what similar things they've published that you can look at to get a sense of their formatting, their company voice, and other elements of the work. They'll tell you how they want the work submitted. Are you just sending them a Word document? Do you need to upload to Google Drive? How do they want to receive this? And anything else you need to know to do this job. As you can see, there's nothing left to chance here. It's not like you have to figure this all out on your own. The editor or client is going to be very specific about what they want, which makes your job so easy. Okay, nailed down the scope of work. You move to step 4, which is you write the piece, the fun part. You spend some time finding source materials or interviewing experts, and then you use the template or the samples the client provided to write the assignment. You meet the word count and the formatting and all the other details the client provided. Easy peasy. Honestly, what I tell people is all you have to be able to do is follow instructions. If you can follow instructions, you can be a professional writer. Moving on to step 5, you turn in the draft. Woo! Nerve-wracking stuff, clicking that send button and sending your work out there, your first little baby as a writer. But it's not really that nerve-wracking when you understand that all content creation is collaborative. Your editor does not expect your draft to be perfect. The goal here is for the two of you to work together to create the best possible deliverable for the client. And as such, you should expect step 6, receiving edit requests from the client. So deep breath. Don't be crushed when your beautiful draft comes back bloody with red ink. Everyone gets edited. I get edited. Authors get edited. Everyone gets edited. Editing is not an attack on you or your writing ability. Again, the goal here is for your editor to help you elevate your prose and meet the parameters of the assignment. That's all. If you keep your focus on pleasing the client, then edits won't bother you, nor should they. Okay, step 7. You and the editor may bat revisions back and forth a few times. The editing and revision process can require several rounds. Again, it's nothing to get alarmed about. It's perfectly normal in this industry. Just do what the editor is asking of you. Step 8, we're getting to the more exciting stuff. Your assignment gets accepted. You're about to become a published writer because the client says, yes, this is finalized. We will publish it. Yay! And that leads to step 9. You invoice them. Even more exciting. You get to send your invoice for the price of the deliverable that was just accepted. Your fee might range from $500 to $2,000 per item. Won't it feel good to send that bill over to your editor? And then the most exciting step of all, step 10, you get paid. Aside from seeing my name in print on a byline, the most exciting step of this whole process is this one, receiving the check. Although, usually today, you get paid by direct deposit to your business checking account, but nonetheless, it's still thrilling. So what do you do after step 10? Well, I call this the lather, rinse, and repeat phase. You start the process all over again. Actually, You usually start by pitching the client who just paid you because they obviously loved your work. Of course they did. So your first step should be to propose another assignment to them. That should be your first path. But you also want to be constantly cultivating new clients. In fact, you should be working on steps 1 and 2 of this process all the time, even when you're working on steps 3 to 10 for clients. Marketing your business while working with clients is a key skill to becoming a successful freelance writer. How easy is that, though? Now that you know the entire cycle of health writing, are you surprised about how easy it is? Did you think it would be harder? Does it surprise you that the client gives you very, very specific instructions about what to write and how to write it? It's almost like a fill-in-the-blanks exercise. If you'd like to see how truly easy it is to write a client assignment, we've put a link in the description box and the show notes to our video titled How I Make $400 an Hour as a Nurse Writer. I shot this 50-minute video while I was writing an actual $400 assignment for a client, so you get to look over my shoulder as I complete a genuine, paid writing assignment. You might be shocked at how easy it really is to do this. I invite you to check that video out because so many nurses tell us it's incredibly eye-opening. So now that you know how the process of health writing works, what are you waiting for? I encourage you to jump into this wonderful career and start designing your dream career as a nurse writer today. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the RN2writer Show. I'm Elizabeth Haynes. I'm a nurse and a former 6-figure freelancer. I hope you'll subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Click the notifications bell so that every time we publish something new, you get notified. Or if you like audio only, follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And until next time, keep pitching.